It's no secret that life can be pretty hard sometimes. Everyone suffers in some way in life. But the thing that I think is great about it is the fact that you can actually choose your suffering. See, there's different kinds of suffering that you could undergo. For example, you could choose to eat unhealthily, never go outside, never get any sunlight, never work out. And while that might be nice in the short term, this might be some gratifying activities, eating, junk food that tastes good, or just not forcing yourself to work out. Um, this can be gratifying in the short term, but then you're going to reap the consequences of that, which are going to be an unhealthy body, health problems, most likely. Your body probably won't be able to move like you'd want it to ideally be able to move. You probably won't be as strong as you'd want to be. And you might not look the way you'd want to look either. Or there's another option. The other option would be to choose the suffering in the shorter term, or the suffering now. You can make the choice instead to make better diet choices. You can choose to go to the gym, or go on a run, just work out in some way. Choose to go outside and do things that are good for your health. And then you'll get to reap the consequences of that. However, they're going to be positive consequences for the vast majority of the time anyway. You'll get to have a healthy body that can move and be stronger. It might look more like you'd want it to look. And you won't have those health problems that you would have eating super unhealthy all the time and never working out. And that's what I mean by you can choose your suffering in life. You can choose to suffer your choice to do nothing, or to live in the moment. Not living in the moment's okay, but like you can choose to suffer through doing nothing and letting yourself wither away, and choosing the things that are going to make you happy in the short term. But what I think is the smarter choice is choosing to suffer in the short term so that your long-term outlook is much, much more positive. And that was just one example. You could apply that to anything, really. For example, say you make the choice to suffer in the not necessarily short term, but at least shorter term by going to school, pursuing an education. And yeah, it can be hard to get through that, but in the long run, you're probably gonna come out the other side and be happy that you went through that suffering, so that you didn't have to suffer later without having the education and less opportunities for work. You'll probably be happy you suffered in the short term so that you could have a better life later, not have to suffer later. I know it can be hard to get ourselves to do things that are going to make us suffer. I struggle with it too, honestly. For example, I'm trying to be more consistent right now with my workouts. There was a time when I was actually really good about it, but I've kind of what's the word? I've plateaued at times. I've regressed at times. I've made steps forward at times, but I'm trying to work on that consistency to continually suffer in the short term for my long-term health, so that I don't have to suffer later. It's definitely hard to do, but it's so worth it. It's definitely the smart choice. But hey, if you'd rather just choose to suffer in the longer term so that you can do the things that make you happy in the short term, that's your choice. But I want what's best for you, and what I believe is going to be best for anyone long term is going to be suffering in the short term for the rewards in the long term. It can be hard to choose that and hard to get ourselves to do that. It definitely is. But if you do, your future self will look back and thank you for it. I can guarantee that. Man, I really wish I had Cheat on right now so I could clear this ring, because it's probably making the video look not so great. But, oh well. Anyway, yeah, just suffering in life is necessary. No one can avoid suffering. You're going to suffer one way or the other. Unfortunately, I mean, it would be great if we didn't have to suffer, but you know, that's just how life is. It's the reality of life. It would be great if everything was easy. It was easy to diet and work out and you know do all the other health conscious and future conscious things, but unfortunately they're usually hard to do, and so it can take some discipline. Discipline's very important. I don't think I made a video on discipline before. I might do that sometime soon, but yeah, in my opinion, since you're gonna suffer either way, it makes the most sense to choose the suffering that is going to be the best suffering for you. That's going to make you a better person and make your future life better. I need to light this area under here up. Always mob spawning in here. So yeah, that's about it. Just remember that you have the choice of how you're going to suffer in life. You can suffer in the long term, or you can suffer in the short term. And I urge you to make a smart choice. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.